McDonald. I'm a social worker and I manage the post 9/11 military to VA program. The M to VA program is located in every VA medical center, offering outreach and care coordination and case management services to veterans who've served after September 11th, 2001, including those who have served in theaters of combat operations or that are transitioning off of active duty or an active member of National Guard or Reserve. In the context of this work in November, I received a call from a military family life consultant, or an MFLAC, that works with the New York National Guard family programs, responding to a non-commissioned officer seeking assistance for a spouse of a deployed service member. The NCO shared that the efforts were being made to have the soldier return from deployment in response to a call from CPS and the removal of the children's home from the spouse. That had also resulted in a mobile crisis response. The MFLEC had contacted the post 9/11 program as the spouse was identified as a female combat veteran. The ask was for assistance with getting this veteran and the military spouse access to care and supports. I reached out to the veteran, who was a military spouse, and was able to verify that she was eligible for care. She had completed compensation and pension examinations, was enrolled as Priority Group 1, 100% permanent and total veteran, but had never established care. During the course of my assessment for services and needs, the veteran revealed having experienced several traumatic events to include childhood trauma, military sexual trauma, and additional cultural and social determinants of health, which had made it difficult for them to trust the system, to include CPS, the military, and the VA. The veteran also had some assumptions about the VA based upon her experience with compensation and pension benefits that had added to their fear. While the veteran did have needs that we could assist with and was appreciative of the outreach, she was apprehensive about agreeing to schedule any services or care. She did, however, agree to follow-up calls from me. Over the series of several calls, the veteran agreed to meet with one of our primary care PACT social workers in women's health to tour the clinic space and learn more about the environment of care and services available.
All right. So I'm Zoe. I'm the PACT social worker for the women's health team. A few weeks later, Leah and I had coordinated a visit with the veteran to the clinic. So even though she had expressed apprehension during the visit, she seemed uncomfortable. I was able to keep her fairly engaged and spent time just beginning to provide her with information about the clinic and regarding specialty services that we could offer, such as mental health, pelvic floor physical therapy, gynecology, everything, that we offer up here. Just keeping it very straightforward and facts-based and adding absolutely no pressure to her or trying to elicit any sort of response. As we were talking, I then engaged the veteran around the events that led to her recent contact with the VA and CPS. Speaking with anyone about their children and CPS is quite the difficult conversation, on top of having a history of this veteran feeling very distrustful of the military and the VA due to her experiences. I was able to listen to her concerns, offer a safe space for her to process the events that led them here. Allowing for that time and space gave me a small opportunity to talk about next steps that could potentially be taken. And as a result, the veteran did agree to schedule for primary care. And since this was originally discussed and, the written and everything, I have met with the veteran a couple more times, and she is now engaged with mental health care as well as continuing to meet with me. So in this veteran's case, action was taken to take an individualized approach to getting the veteran the care that they needed. If Leah did just place a consult or hadn't persisted with outreach, then I wouldn't have had the opportunity to meet with the veteran. And in meeting with her, I was aware that I needed to adjust my approach and reassure that the purpose of the meeting was to educate them about services that they could explore, and not just trying to get them to engage, in care so that we would benefit from it. I also needed to make sure that I understood what her concerns were about getting care and addressing them before moving on to scheduling them for care. So that was a very important aspect of the meeting as well. And the result was that we were able to, through this relationship of trust and networking with our DoD partners, we were able to get the call for help. And in addition, we were able to get the veteran the help that they needed by using a trauma-informed approach. So in terms of the alignment of HRO, this could fall into a number of categories, but the one that we wanted to highlight was respect for people. You know, being justice involved or involved with CPS can make someone who needs help avoid getting that help due to feeling ashamed. In addition, when we encounter veterans that have concerns about care at the VA or have assumptions that might be wrong, it can be very difficult to engage them. And we could be met with a lot of different reactions and assumptions. And having to actively demonstrate our values by being curious and asking questions about concerns, and then offering education and information rather than being directive, telling them what to do or dismissive. And then, of course, we need patience, as many of our veterans, given their history of traumatic experiences, can take longer to engage and assess. But this was a very great experience, and I'm happy that she's been able to get engaged in care, and we've been able to not change her mind necessarily, but show her that there are people that are here that care and want to be able to help her.
Oh,
That's
thank
all I
you.
got.
Well, that's not all you've got. You've got so much. First of all, I want to say that's why our social workers are above all needed in this facility. And what you had done, Leah, just to start it off, wonderful story. I'm so happy that the female veteran, is able to get her care and start that journey. I do appreciate the fact that you were gentle, but yet really looked at what her needs were. This is a story that needs to go up further. It truly is a hero type award. And even though it took a lot of time and effort, it's one life that is taken care of, and hopefully she'll have some peace and wonderful care. And that's why we provide the best care anywhere. So you have a lot of comments in the chat box. So great story. Thank you for a Friday.
Thank you, Director. Yeah, it was really, and if folks are wondering, the family has been reunited. The children were returned to the home. The soldier was returned from deployment. So it was just really a wonderful experience to know that when we have calls like this, one, our Department of Defense partners can trust us to know that we're going to respond in a way that is helpful. And that we can also, I can trust when I'm handing folks off that they're going to have a good experience. And so I knew if she was willing to give it a try, that she was going to have good care.
Yeah, I can think of a couple of things where this needs to go up through HRO and up through the customer service piece. I think that because of the partnership and the warm handoffs, really, I think this story needs to be told. It's a good lesson learned. So work with quality and Marianne Jones for HRO, and customer service with Glenn Gilbert, so we can get this story told to be put on and highlighted at the VISN level. So thank you very much. Great work. Anyone else?
Good morning, everyone. This is Tarita, EEO Program Manager. I just wanted to remind everyone that the African American Relations Committee has a presentation, a virtual presentation today. The guest speaker will be Dr. Jennifer Sneed. It will be at 12 o'clock. I'll put in the link to it in the chat box for everyone to attend. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Tarita. Just one other thing before we leave. In coming up to work this morning, I ran into the nurse navigator from the oncology group, and she just I asked her how she was doing. We were just having a little morning chat. She said, I absolutely love my job, but she also told me a very moving story where one of the providers was out, and as a nurse navigator, this is what the benefit is of having them. There was a veteran who had to have a PET scan, and unfortunately, there was something found on the PET scan. The nurse navigator, even though the report would have gone to the provider who happened to be out that day or for a vacation, she was able to manage it. She was able to get it to another provider. Immediately, they moved into action, and what could have been a delay in care was a opportunity in which care was given at the right time. So Again, that's the beauty of looking at what's needed in the services and how people respond to the needs of our veterans. So hats off to them. Great job. So Melissa, just for your information, so you could kind of reach out to her. Okay, everyone, we'll see you around the medical center day. We'll go to the second half with Dr. Howard.